Congratulations, Internet! This week, we get to see the first ever live-action Deadpool movie, a feat that would have been impossible without the Internet's endless fascination for this self-deprecating troll of a superhero. Now let's just hope, for the sake of an overhyped fandom, that the Merc with a mouth gets a better big-screen treatment from Fox than the Fantastic Four ever did. Hey guys, welcome to Rejected Movie Ideas, where much like a heroin addict deep in the throes of withdrawal, we keep thinking that just one more hit of a Marvel movie by Fox will make everything okay. Now, for either one of the two audience members who actually paid money last summer to watch Josh Trank's cinematic slumberfest that was Fantastic Four, you know exactly the type of hopeless addiction we've developed if we're trusting anyone at Fox who isn't Bryan Singer. If you were able to endure the slowest moving 100 minutes in superhero movie history, you might have noticed how the end product felt less like a single storyteller's labor of love and more like a shitty committee's forced effort. All we got was a grim sci-fi movie with a boss battle crammed in at the end, instead of a movie that, people might actually have enjoyed. Thing is, in 2012, a guy named Jeremy Slater did actually write a Fantastic Four script for Fox that the fans would have actually enjoyed. His script rebooted the franchise for a post-Avengers world, more superhero fun than Matrix, Doom and Gloom, and also touched on all the classic B-movie type supervillains that populated the comics during the 60s. Slater was a man of good faith, a noble man who believed that Fox could follow Disney's lead by embracing the colorful aspects of Marvel's superheroes instead of shamefully hiding them in black uniforms. Well, Slater was wrong. In Slater's script, unlike the finished film, when the Fantastic Foursome is transported to that other dimension, they don't encounter a deserted wasteland, but instead, they find themselves in the middle of an alien graveyard. Shit truly hits the fan when a couple of pages later they discover that the being responsible for the extraterrestrial slaughter is none other than the devourer of planets and exotic headwear model, Galactus. The Titan then chases our heroes back to their portal, but not before attacking them with dark matter, which grants the Foursome their fantastic powers, because, that's how dark matter works. And don't even think about nitpicking the science here, okay? Because that scene alone is more exciting than anything we got in the final movie. One thing the final movie did keep intact from the original script was stranding baddie Victor Von Doom in the middle of the negative zone. Important difference here is that, unlike in the movie, Doom isn't left to wander a desolated planet, but rather he becomes a servant to Galactus, who makes him scout the universe for planets that he can eat, apparently making Silver Surfer file for unemployment. Doom eventually escapes the negative zone via a portal that scientists in his home country of Latveria were able to cobble together with research stolen from Richard Reed's design. Doom, in typical bad guy fashion, repays the scientists who helped him by slaughtering them all. He then proceeds to channel his maddening rage towards the more productive goal of building a dark matter weapon that can defeat Galactus, who has set his eye on Earth as his next meal. And as much as the Fantastic Four loved Doom's whole let's stop the planet-eating monster idea, they just can't get behind his nasty habit of murdering innocent Latverians and ruling his country with an iron fist. This leads to a proper final boss battle between Marvel's first family and Dr. Doom, while the even greater menace of Galactus is looming in the background. And yes, I am sorry to remind you that we live in a world where someone thought that an hour and a half of superheroes locked up in a dingy military base doing absolutely nothing would make for a better movie than the utter badassery on display in the original script. Unfortunately, as great as the script was, big-budget tentpole films aren't made by just sticking to one version of a perfectly fine script. The studio system is simply filled with too many people whose job it is to add their 2 cents to what they think a movie should look like. The original screenwriter might want to pay homage to the 60s comic books and their B-movie spirit, but the director might want to make a film that's more reminiscent of the sci-fi horror films he grew up watching in the 80s. And then, of course, you have the studio execs who have no idea what any of those words even mean, and ultimately change the movie to what they think will make the most money. Fortunately, this hasn't changed writer Jeremy Slater's outlook on the movie industry. There's not a ton of my stuff left in the movie, mostly the first act, but I'll always be honored that I got to play in such a cool sandbox. On the other hand, director Josh Trank has notoriously been a lot less chipper about the outcome of his film, bashing the studio on Twitter and consequently being kicked out of future movie projects. He is now rumored to be feverishly working on building a portal to another dimension into which he can hurl every single copy of his god-awful movie once and for all. So it looks like Fox is making moves to hold on to the Fantastic Four property to keep Marvel from getting it back. How do you feel about that? Do you think Marvel would make better Fantastic Four movies than Fox? If your answer is yes, you're a real human being. If it's no, tell us why in the comments below and subscribe to this channel for more rejected movie ideas. Also, if you like my face, follow me on Twitter at James A. Janice and follow me on YouTube at Practical Folks. Thanks a lot, guys. Be good people.